Damn.
There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the long overdue, long awaited return of the Pokeballs podcast. My name is Lee. I'm joined as always by Scott, and we have a brand new recruit to the podcast as well. So, Scott, let's welcome in our newest recruit to the Pokeballs podcast.
Welcome, Kosta.
How are you doing, mate?
Oh my God, I am so privileged and honored to be joining you guys. Thank you so much.
Everyone's favorite EUIC presenter.
Hey, I will take that. Thank you. But no,
You are.
I will definitely take that as well. I've decided to crash your party, obviously, because I got a bit jealous. I saw you guys, having chinwag. So I thought, hey, why not, just come unannounced? And I've just taken over, so it's fine.
Well, I feel like you're the perfect person to have in here. You bring so much to the party, Costa. So it's our pleasure to have you.
So much energy.
Join us. Yeah, we love it. Energy man.
Thank you. You will be regretting that because at some point it's going to be too much energy. So be warned from now.
No, there's never enough energy. Scott, how are you doing, my friend? Are you doing well?
Excellent.
Back?
Honestly, buzzing to be back.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to, I think when you mentioned bringing it back, I was like, well, dream come true. And now we've got Kosta as well. The boys are back in town. I mean, this is it. That's what life's all about. So talk about some exciting Pokemon news coming up. So
yeah, and I think it's a good time to bring it back as well with the Pokemon Day on the horizon. We've just had some big announcements, like not just in the last week, but we've had a lot kind of gearing up for drops this year. So it feels like we're going to have a lot of topics to kind of keep talking about, keep discussing, and lots of things to look forward to as well.
Should we just dive straight in?
Well, I was going to say, we have to, because the latest news of spiciness has come out, being Fire Red and Leaf Green coming back now.
Okay, before we jump into it, so I just want to kind of gauge your thoughts on this, guys. How do you feel on the price of these games? So $16.99 here in the UK, $20 in the US each. Like, honestly, what was your, don't pay to what the noise has been. Just what was your initial thoughts when you saw that?
It seems too much money. I think some people are saying it's atrocious. I don't think I would go that far. Because I know it is just a port of the original games, and you can go buy probably a copy of the game for 40 quid. But it's on the Switch. You're paying to be able to play it on the Switch. You're always going to pay a premium when it's coming directly from Nintendo. So whilst I think it is probably more money than it needs to be, like £10 would have made more sense. I think it's okay. Like if you're the type of person that wants to play it, it's not like, I mean, if they come out and it was like 30 quid, I think then you'd be like, yeah, you can go do yourself. But I think it's okay, in my opinion. Like if you want to play it, you're going to buy it. Like it's not going to break the bank if you want to play it on the Switch, especially if you've never played it before. It's still cheaper than any other Pokemon game you can buy from Nintendo. So it's a good way to start.
But I guess it feels bad though if you had already played the game, right? Whether growing up or even, I don't know, recently, or you got it on,
Yeah, but I don't think. I think they're targeting new people, to be honest with you, because I think that if you've played it already, you've probably already got a GBA, you've probably already got the original copy, and if you are going to play it again, you're probably going to play it on there. And if you really do want to play it on the Switch, you're just going to pay the money, because it just means you really like it, so you're going to pay it anyway. And unfortunately, Pokemon, they've got us all. They've got us all in their back pocket. They could charge 30 quid. People would still buy it. It doesn't matter. I think it is what it is. There's no point in raging too much about it.
Oh, I get that. I get the point that people are making about the price and it being too much. I'm not going to skirt away from the fact that everything's expensive now. Cost of living is more than it has been in a long time. So I get that. But my argument would be is to all those people, did a lot of those people that are complaining now about this price complain about the price of the DLC for ZA? Because if you look at it, right, the same cost for the DLC basically is both games. There or thereabouts, right? This is relatively close enough, but you're getting two, probably some of the best remakes ever for the same cost as a DLC. And I cannot say, like, I don't know if I've spoke to many people about ZA that have had a great time playing it at the start and then just completely dropped it after playing like maybe an hour of the DLC. So many people, it seems to be the same sort of thing. So I would say that is not going to happen with Fire Red and Leaf Green because you've got the value there and you've got it on your Switch forever, and it's an entire game. But I
Are
get
they doing? They're not doing any physical versions of it, are they?
Japan gets a special collector's edition, which was
Yeah.
like I think the equivalent of like $120 for, but it's only Japan, and it's like a special Pokemon Center exclusive, which is like it comes with like a little
They've
ornament that
got
you put on your
replica
shelf.
packaging set, don't they?
Yeah, replica packaging of the original
Yeah.
GBA games, which is like it looks insane, and
It
I
does,
think
to be fair.
I wonder if they're not doing it over here because of the I don't know, like is it just going to be targeted by scalpers and then just people that actually want
for
to find
sure.
it hard to get, so maybe that has a reason why it's
Right.
not
So
coming. But
this is
yeah,
it
that's it there. Yeah,
for
yeah,
people who have not seen.
it looks amazing.
It looks
Incredible. Yeah.
very
Too good.
cheeky. I'm interested to see, are these like little physical carts, like what's in the boxes?
Yeah,
Or
I
is it
don't
just
know
meant
if
to
it's
like,
just like a display or not. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool if you got a physical card though, but I find that kind of hard to believe. But I'm not too sure on the details. Does it say in the listing? One game
I think
download
it's the
card.
set
So
itself. Is it the set? You know what? I think it might actually be the game cartridges. Just because the main photo has got the packaging set, and then
separately,
you've
yeah.
got separately, and then you've got the fire red and leaf green versions. So I feel like obviously they're going to do a nod to the first ever games that came out, right, with Japan, and that's why they're doing the Japanese exclusive, in my opinion, rather than like red or blue that released to the rest of the world versus red and green. But yeah, it's just it is sick. I wish the rest of the world could get this as well, but I would probably get it. But probably best for my wallet that it's not available.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks so cool.
It does.
They got all the nice things. But that's interesting to hear your thoughts. Both of you kind of like in the same sort of mind, I guess, with it could have been cheaper, but it's not terrible.
I mean, I could go crazy with my opinion. Okay. Because I agree that, now you got it for life, and this opens up the old games finally making their way through the Switch, where you can go ahead and now have them for, the rest of the Switch's life cycle, etc., etc. But then it's the example you presented, the DLC of ZA versus, which we don't know yet. It's not confirmed if there's any additional stuff coming with it, aside from it just being the game itself.
I think we are going to get home compatibility for it because I think when it first
Sure.
dropped, it was listed and it was stated on even like the eShop page. It had home compatibility listed with the games. That got taken down like shortly after and like pulled from any information about the games. So it's likely they are going to have home compatibility. It's just they're not ready to reveal it yet because it's going to be later down the line. And they like to do this with things. So that would be my argument. And it would be cool if we had like online support for trading and battling. Of course, that would be amazing.
Surely
We've only got local wireless options there. But I think the fact that you can, hopefully we're going to be able to transfer Pokemon from these games into home and then potentially like use them in champions and stuff like that, or trade them into Gen 10 or whatever. I think the thought of that makes the purchase worthwhile, in my opinion, at least. But this is just it's all opinions.
Yeah, I think
And I
I
respect
agree.
you guys.
I think it would make sense if they're holding that info for Pokemon Day, which is in
That'd be
5
kinda
days
cool.
now. So
I have a feeling as well, talking about Pokemon Day, like them releasing this like a week out from Pokemon Day, it's almost like they're making room for bigger
More stuff.
announcements.
Yeah.
And like my other thought in this, and I haven't talked to anyone about this, right? So when you look at Fire Red and Leaf Green, you can't physically complete the national decks in that game without Ruby
Trading,
Sapphire, Emerald or one of the Colosseum or Guilds of Darkness games. You need one of those, like, you need a multiple of those games really to complete the national Pokedex, which is like, I think they I don't feel like Pokemon would release this game and make it not the ability not to be able to complete that Pokedex. So I think we're going to get Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald as well. Whether or not they reveal that on Pokemon Day for maybe somewhere further down the line, or I don't know, but I feel like that's kind of the end plan with all of this.
The only thing I would say is like, I feel like they've let us down in the past. So there's part of me that thinks like they haven't thought that far ahead and they're just releasing the ROM.
Right.
I'm not. I don't want to be like a
Mm.
doomer and be like, oh no, yeah, it's probably just. But I'd love for it to have all that stuff, and I think it would be good. But I don't know. I just don't have the faith that they would. Because that'd be sick. That'd be like really cool. And like you said, it would make the value. The value would be there then. But
Well, $16.99 to spend. That's the problem if they drop.
I was going to say, I guaranteed you, if it was a tenner, people would have still moaned about it.
Yeah.
So
100%.
like any price, unless it was free, although people would probably
They'd
still moan.
find a way. People love
They'd find a
moaning.
way.
That's just human
Exactly.
behavior. It's human
Yeah.
nature, mate.
It's number one on the eShop though. Like it's like, I think like in a lot of different countries, and it's been that way since like the weekend since it dropped. So it's obviously people are buying it, you know.
Mate, it's a fan favorite.
They're not
let's not
stupid.
joke around.
No.
I think
Yeah,
choosing leaf green and fire red was a good rather than just like red or yellow or blue or whatever. Is it better? Because didn't they do that on the 3DS already?
Yeah, so they did red, blue, and yellow, and then they did gold, silver, crystal on the
Yeah.
eShop there as the virtual console games. I think they were a tenner, or were they $15.99?
I think they
can't
came with
remember.
the didn't they come with the Switch thing? Oh no, wait, no, sorry. You mean the DS? Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was around like 15-ish or something like
Yeah,
that.
I'd love to like go back and find
Rings a
out. I
bell?
can't remember. It was such a long time ago, but yeah, it was. I want to say they were like $9.99. But
I'll
3DS games are generally cheaper than Switch games. So even though these aren't Switch games and they weren't 3DS games, it's like, you know, that's a moot argument, I guess.
Yeah, I know. But it's still like you said, they're clearly going for nostalgia beats, and what way to go about it by releasing the first very games, or at least the second version, the reiteration of the first
Yeah.
ever games, which is more polished and etc. on the 30th anniversary, which is like it's an easy win. It's an easy dub. Like, why would you not do it?
Are you picking it up, Costa?
I'm probably going to, yeah, just because they've got the Sevi Islands, Sevi.
Sevi Islands, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember playing it the first time. Oh my god, it was so good.
Cool.
Because it was just such a like well polished version of it. Like, okay, sure, there wasn't much change ish, but like you said, we had nat decks and stuff like that where we could actually trade from different generations, right? Which is really cool. But yeah, I'm probably going to pick it up. I'm like a hardcore fanatic of Soul Silver, Heart Gold. So part of me is a bit sad, but then again, it's still an amazing pair of games.
Well, mate, we're like still in that really nice sweet spot just before Pokemon Day and the Pokemon Presents. So we can be like as extravagant with our predictions as we want right now. And you know, there was it was like the modeling that they did of a prototype where they patented a second screen attachment for the Switch 2, haven't they? I think that was done like late last year at some point.
That rings a bell.
And there's always a possibility that they could pull like a rabbit out of the hat and be like, okay, here we go. We got a second screen now for the Switch 2. And to celebrate it and make the most out of it, that we're bringing back the ultimate Pokemon game, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. You never know. I don't think it's going to happen like in a million years, but you never know.
One could dream.
We could dream about it.
Okay, I've got the prices. It was $10 for each game.
Well played.
Wow.
All right. So $10. How much would that have been quid? Obviously, we got
£7 or
inflation stuff now.
£7. Wow, that's pretty decent.
That is very
£7. Was that Crystal as well?
Yeah, they're all the same apparently.
Wow, that's cheap for Crystal. Wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, so it may like once again, there's always going to be people that hate on it,
Mm.
but there's probably going to be more people that are okay with it and love it, and they're just not as vocal as people hating on it.
Yeah.
I can see either side. I get it, but you know, I'm still gonna buy it. Like as like you said, Strut, they kind of like whipped
Mm.
or chained certain individuals. Totally not myself, and maybe
Yeah.
you guys as well.
And I think it's like one of those things, right? If you're gonna get like enjoyment out of buying it for your Switch and you get enjoyment of owning it on your Switch, then I don't see any problem. And you should just
Right, who
carry on.
cares what
Yeah,
anyone
who
else
cares
thinks?
what
If you
anyone
want to
else
buy it,
thinks?
just buy it.
Exactly.
That's
And
it.
you have a good time with it and just
Exactly.
ignore the
Exactly that.
noise. Yes.
So
But it's exciting though. It does like, do you think that they've dropped it pre? Is this like, I think it's like one of two things. They've either announced it leading into Pokemon Day, so they've got more room at the Direct for something else, or they're going to announce something in the Direct that's kind of linked to this.
didn't it get leaked? Isn't that why they kind of released it early? Was it meant to be released this early?
Well, there was the rumors and the leaks about Fire Red and Leaf Green coming to the Switch,
Yeah.
but like I think the problem is we get like stuff like I can remember like the last maybe 5 years of Pokemon Day, Pokemon Direct rumors, and it's always been at some stage on the cards. The Classic Collection has been one of those things that is tipped to be coming out, and it just never has. And this year the same rumor leaks sort of surfaced again, but this time it's
The only thing,
true.
to be fair, to counter what I just said, I think, they probably like the Pokemon. We've known how long the Pokemon Presents is going to be, right, for a while.
It's
So
25
it's 25 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, so imagine it's like locked. So if they were to remove it from the thing, like, it'd just be a lot of aggro. So it wouldn't make sense that it was in there and they decided to release it early, because then they would have take out the segment.
No, what I
about
mean
Leaf
is like
Green.
that they've always had the plan of the 25 minutes, whatever's in there, but this has always been the plan to release this like a week out prior to that. So it either links to something that will be announced in the Direct, so they've got more time to talk about that rather than have to squeeze in all the info about Fire Red Leaf Green, as well as, or if it just frees up room for everything else that they've got
Maybe you're right.
to talk about.
I don't think they could risk changing
Nah,
a whole presentation where there's so much
That's what I mean.
videos,
That's what I
editing, footage, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So they just gonna have to roll with it.
Mhm.
And obviously now that there were the rumors, blah blah blah, they were their hand was forced to go ahead and say, right, let's go ahead and confirm Fire Red, Leaf Green, and let's just whip it out in terms of early, rollout of at least news.
I think it's always been the plan though to have it.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon it was always planned. I might be naive in this. I think it's always been planned to be dropped when it was dropped.
A bit of
like
a fake out.
A week out, yeah. Because it's going live on Pokemon Day. I think that as soon as the presents finishes, that's when it goes live to be able to play in game.
But that could have been planned from beforehand, right?
Yeah. Who knows? I guess we'll never really know the truth.
Part of the fun of speculation.
Yes.
Hey, you'd be true.
But what do you think? What do you think is going to be the biggest thing from in the presents? I think Gen 10, but
yeah, I mean, there's obvious things that they're probably going to tease. Champions is got to be one of the main ones
It
because
has to be.
it's coming out this year.
Yeah.
They haven't really released much footage of it. They did that with one initial trailer. Don't think they've released much more from that since.
We've had like 3 trailers, including so we had the first reveal trailer last year on Pokemon Day. Then we had a trailer at Worlds, kind of a small trailer at Worlds, kind of teasing, just stating that it's going to be used at Worlds this year in San Francisco. And then we've had kind of a bump on trailer from that with just extended footage and a bit more information about how the EVs and the rental system, obtaining Pokemon recruitment things going to work. But we haven't got much footage really at all from it.
They have to, I mean, in my opinion, they have to get a release date. It has to. the extreme best scenario would be they shadow drop it.
Oh, could you imagine?
On that day? But that is, whilst also the most amazing best outcome, the most unrealistic one.
I've just wasted like 30 quid on Fire Red and Leaf Green because that is not getting played if Champions drops.
Unless this is literally part of the plan of what you said. Like they by accident leak it so they could get the pre-orders up and stuff. And then
Yeah, so they make sales, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll
Maybe
probably
that's a good theory though. I like it. It's like we're never going to sell any of these Fire Red Leaf Green games if we drop Champions because everyone's going to be too busy playing that. Drop it a week early and then have the release time to play on Pokemon Day and also drop Champions at the same time.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't see them shadow drop. Have they ever shadow dropped anything on Pokemon Day?
Events and stuff. I don't know, but did they do? Did they? I think they shadow dropped Isle of Armor DLC. I could be wrong though. I feel like that was just out of the blue.
I know they've done some
events.
Unite stuff as well.
Yeah,
that they've shadow dropped.
I feel like shadow dropping it, whilst is exciting, I feel like giving a release date builds more hype. So it probably makes more sense to do that.
Probably.
Yeah, for like pre-order stuff. Although we're saying it's free, right?
Yeah,
is officially confirmed.
Yeah, it's free to play,
to purchase or
there is is it like a starter trainer pack or something like that you can purchase when it first drops, which we have no information about, but there is a trainer bundle or something like that you can buy. It's like a premium bundle or something.
I have a question.
You have a question?
I have a question. So obviously there's a lot of speculation about how they're going to monetize this because it's free and it's going to be on mobile as well. So there's going to be a way to grind the in-game currency probably by playing ladder, which will help you build a team. If there is an option that says, okay, you can pay 20 quid and you can build an entire competitive team of 6. Would you pay that?
They wouldn't do that. I don't think they'd do that.
I don't think they would do that.
That's just too like blasé.
Yeah.
I agree, but this is what I've heard from people speculating. Like
I would not.
Them charging.
So I guess it depends on the rate of progression of the grind. Like how much grind resource do you get after X amount of time, and is it worth it?
Like, because I feel like in an ideal world, like I think the best way to monetize it is like character customization and stadium customization, and like I feel like most people would comfortably pay for that. Like easily. I would pay for stuff like to make your character look cool, whether the way you throw the ball, maybe like those are easy things which they're not. It doesn't matter if you spend the money or not. Like you're not.
Or a Blastoise in a
anything.
Hawaiian t-shirt.
Yeah,
like,
just
why would you not
that'd be
want
nuts.
to get that?
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to monetize it. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are, but I hope they don't make it so that the grind system is too tiresome, and then you kind of have to look at maybe buying something that they have that or maybe boosts the amount you can get, or just lets you build a team. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I feel like you're a good person to like kind of answer this, Costa, being in the industry anyway, because you've got a good experience with this sort of thing and how this sort of thing's approached. In my opinion, I think I would just look at like TCG Pocket and look at how they've monetized that, where it's free to play for the most part and you can play it for free. There's a bit more grinding and a bit more restriction on just playing it for free, but you can still do it. But if you pay a premium on that, then you get access to
an additional pack,
just a little bit
stuff,
extra, yeah. And I think that's probably what it'll be like in my mind. I think, and that's kind of a way of them making money from it, but like in a non-direct way. The only thing I would say is probably what we will probably have to pay like a subscription for is probably the ranked ladder. I think that'll be a season pass because it's tied to competitive, right? I think you're going to have to, if you want to compete on the ranked ladder, I think you'll have to pay a season pass for that because you're earning championship points from it essentially, right? Because it'll probably give you entry into the global challenges, brand challenges, other competitions that they have.
We've never had to pay for that before, though.
So I feel like
true.
I feel like what the most realistic thing is, and you touched on a lot of points that I agree with there, is I agree with Scott. I don't think they would force players to pay for a subscription of ranked or ladder or whatever, but I do think they're gonna have the bundle always available where it still does give you additional perks and stuff. Like if they go down the route of just saying, hey, basically you can't play online unless you subscribe, people will riot. I don't think
Mm.
people will be happy because you're
Depends, 'cause
trying to sell the
you already
idea
have to
of
pay for the
competitive.
Nintendo Online subscription, right, as well.
Exactly.
So
So
then if
that's
you're paying an additional
yeah.
subscription on top, like
Yeah.
I think a battle pass. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with a battle pass. You know, all games do a battle pass.
They'll probably do it.
You know, as long as it, like I said, as long as it's not holding back features.
They need to be able to allow the basic features to be free. Like
Mm.
if it's a free to play game, similar to Unite, similar to
because they
Pocket,
lose a lot of people.
exactly. You need to be able to allow people to do the main thing, but then sprinkle in a bit of, oh hey, by the way, if you want to save money, you want to customize, you want this, you want that, that's where you can pay. Because that would just like they can't afford a bad PR job right now, as at least when it comes to champions, because clearly, like it's rumored, but I think people can assume that champions had already been delayed. It was supposed to come out earlier. So if they go ahead and they try to push of a monetization, an aggressive monetization strategy like this down people's throats just so
Mm.
they could play, there'll be backlash.
I agree with you. I think that makes the more sense, actually. The question I've got, which would be interesting to see how they handle it, is with the version exclusive Pokemon, the Pokemon like Ursaluna, like Glastra, like Calyrex and stuff like that, like Raging Bolt, those big powerhouse Pokemon that you kind of essentially really need in your arsenal to use. But to buy them in, real life in games, you need to buy the physical game or the DLC that's relevant for that game, right? So you're purchasing that Pokemon essentially. How are they going to like do that in Champions? Because I can't see them giving those version exclusives away for free. That would be that's where I've got a big hang up with the kind of the
Isn't the whole point
free
of
to
it
play.
being a battle sim is that if
Mm.
we take Showdown as an example, if they're suddenly locking
What's that?
Pokemon behind, yeah,
Sorry.
I've never heard of this website before. If they're suddenly locking Pokemon behind it, then that like defeats the whole object of it being a battle sim.
Yeah.
Whilst I totally agree with what you're saying, I just feel like it, unless you get
I
other
agree
value with it,
Yeah. Mm.
like, yeah, I don't know. There's
Or
a
do they
million
just
different ways they could do it.
Do they just make the grind for those like extremely, extremely exhausting, and through a premium pass or whatever they do, it's just accessible?
I think they might do something similar to what FIFA used to do. I mean, now it's called like Pro or Football Club or something like that. But what they used to do is they had the Ultimate Team feature, where essentially you can go ahead, make your own team, blah blah blah, whatever stuff. But then that could be either through grind or through paying, just so you could save time, blah blah blah. But then for like the more premium players, it would be increased costs. So it might be more victory points for certain very popular Pokemon, or there could be an additional condition that needs to be met where they could be maybe there's not only one type of currency resource, there could be another.
Oh, there
And maybe you need
100% would be more than one
yeah,
currency
and that's
resource.
where, for example, you get huge bundle of those through battle passes. But then, let's say, for example, you can't naturally acquire them when it comes to ranking or whatever. You need to do certain objectives or trials or missions or some sort of like side thing in order to build up additional secondary currency for those premium Pokemon.
Wasn't the whole point that you can trade Pokemon from your Scarlet and Violet? Like, so isn't all of that irrelevant?
Not to everyone, not to newcomers.
No, not to every. No, yeah, you're right. But like for people who already play competitive Pokemon, it's not really going to be a problem because you go, oh, I've got that Pokemon on there. Like if they start gatekeeping that, then that becomes a problem. But like, oh, you can't trade that over, but you can buy it in the game. Then that's like, it's just, I feel like they're just going to lose a lot of people. So
Well, you can. You're not gatekeeping because technically people have their own free will. They can either go ahead and buy those games or get them traded by a friend and then pop them into home. But what they will probably do is have increased currency value for it and say, well, you've got options. That's not on me. That's on you.
I think it kind of maybe does help, like either way, right? If you have an option for the people who don't have the games, so maybe you haven't played Scarlet and Violet, you go, oh, this is Battle Sim, which just come out. I haven't played a Pokemon game in ages since Red and Blue, Crystal, whatever. And like, oh, let's try it out. So, but they don't have any of the new games, and so there's either you either have to grind or pay the currency for these special. Let's just use the legendary Pokemon as an example, or it's then going to push you to then go buy the game, right? So it's kind of like a win-win because they're like, okay, so you can get it for free if you go get it from the actual game itself. So then they're going to make a sale by making you go to play the latest Pokemon game. You're going to again play it. You will then probably buy the DLC. You get the Pokemon because you're like, I'm not giving the money. I'd rather pay the money for a whole game, get the DLC. You know, you kind of get in 2 for 1 there, maybe. I don't know.
But there's something we're forgetting. It's not only about victory points with buying Pokemon, right? So you could own them, but they can allow you to rent them as well for a set
you can
amount
rent.
of days or duration or
I
something.
think is it a week? I think you get.
I think so. Something like that.
It's a
So
week.
that rings vibe bells of Unite for me. Whereas like, oh, okay, you can rent a
Is that what they
license.
do in Unite?
Well, I don't know if they still do, but they did for a long time because I know that there was some recent Unite changes and stuff. I don't know the details, but basically you can rent a license because you either complete like a weekly challenge or a daily challenge, something like that. And they're like, oh, hey, look, go ahead and try out Sylveon. You've got 3 days. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But then they're like, okay, well, you can test it out, but if you want to play it again, you have to buy it or you have to get the currency and blah blah blah. So I could totally see them do.
I
that.
think regardless of what they end up doing, people are going to be fuming about it
Yeah, probably.
because, you know, everyone loves to moan.
And I think like it does come back to that. I think there's some like they've got like there's some huge decisions that they got to make with how like these interactions, these kind of exchanges work in game, and like they got to do that. It's hard because there's always going to be someone that isn't happy with it.
Yeah.
But I think there's definitely a fine line where they need to not cross over that to like make this to make everyone rage at it because justifiably, if there are certain decisions made where it feels like paying like, you know, hundreds of dollars to progress in the game, that just feels like it's been set up in the wrong way. So I think there's definitely a fine line and a balance to it.
I guess you could
Get
look
it
at
right.
Pokemon Go as an example. I mean, like the core part of the game. I mean, it's a bit different because you don't. I mean, yeah, you could charge for items and stuff, but I mean, you can buy like egg incubators that help your eggs, you know, hatch quicker. You can buy boosters so that more Pokemon spawn. I can't remember what they're called. So you know that's worked out for them as a business plan or whatever you want to call it, business model for that game. And it's been, I would say, probably largely successful. I mean, Pogo's still huge. So I don't know. I would like to think they're not losing money from that. So they'd probably do it maybe a similar thing like that.
There's the other thing as well, I think, like I keep coming back to if megas are going to be the first like gimmick in Champions, which is kind of looking like it's going to be. Like it doesn't matter if we've got the Pokemon or not. It might not even be that much of an advantage because the grind might actually be
Getting the Mega Stones.
getting the Mega Stones, which we can't port in, and that's where they've got us, right? It's like, well, you port all of your Pokemon across, and that's fine, but you're still gonna have to do this for the Mega Stones.
I think
I just hope it's like easy to get. I just make it really easy entry level, so we do get new players in and make it as easy as possible because we want it as similar to Showdown as possible, really, essentially, don't we?
To be honest with you, I think people coming from Scarlet and Violet who play competitive Pokemon, which again is a small player base, but obviously the whole point of Champions is that they want it to reach a much larger audience. That's why it's launching mobile, not just Switch. I guess if you ask me, would I? So before tournament, you said to me, okay, you can pay. I'm just gonna throw a number out there. Doesn't matter what it is. Any amount of money. Let's say £10, and you can build your team, and it's done in 5 minutes. I would probably pay that because Scarlet and Violet has ruined me. The TM mechanic machine thing has scarred me. Spending like 4 hours trying to hunt down like Whiscash that you can't even see because the game doesn't load properly in a small pond, and they're a rare spawn, so they don't spawn that often.
And watching many hours of this guy called the Cyrus VGC's YouTube videos as well on how to do it.
I think I would pay. I would happily kind of pay the money, and I think there's probably a rather decent chunk of the community that, to a certain extent, would also be willing to do the same.
If it filled in my Arcanine Labs form as well, I would. The money would be there for you,
mate. Can you imagine?
I hope we don't have to use Arcanine with this game anymore. They need if there's not a spectator mode, they've lost me. If there's not a battle lock mode, they've also lost me.
Should be a tournament mode, right?
There should be a tournament. It's a battle simulator.
Yeah.
So,
which is really exciting because, like, I think they nailed it for the most part with a lot of the 3DS like features that they used to have, where you could go and you would get like locked into a tournament on the game, and then So hopefully there's something like that with this.
And you would be able to save replays.
Oh, the versus recorder. Bring it back.
Why?
Do you remember? I remember this, Lee. I don't know if you remember this. 2019 in Lille, I remember winning my last game and saving it and then showing you and Ben or someone. I was like, guys, you need to watch this game because something crazy happened. You can't do that anymore.
Nah. Well, technically, you can save a replay, like with the
like
switches.
30 seconds.
30 second, rather than the whole match.
Yeah.
Well, you time it very well.
You get
like
a clip. Yeah.
You're sad. But yeah. But yes, it would be amazing. It's, not the first time that we saw them strip away amazing features as we were progressing through the evolution of hardware. Looking at you, Sword and Shield, where we did have the spectator mode, and it was fantastic. It was phenomenal. It was not used as much as it should have, but it was still amazing.
The thing is, we have to remember is like, does it matter if it's not a 100% complete game with all these features to begin with, because they're going to update the game, right? Like, I know they're obviously going to add more Pokemon when Gen 10 comes out because there's going to be new Pokemon, but they're going to hopefully continually update the game. So over time, they can add the extra features. I mean, they'll probably take feedback from the community. I would imagine they're going to get loads of feedback when the game drops, obviously. And the more it's used at tournaments and stuff, I'm sure they'll make adjustments. It's not just like, oh, this is a game. This is what you're stuck with.
Yeah.
Well, they'll be applying buffs and nerfs, right? And we've not had that. I would say, aside from like the generational jumps of the new games, that's been our sort of timeline of, oh, here are the nerfs and buffs and all that of individual Pokemon or moves or items or whatever.
Getting patch notes for the game.
Yeah,
They're like, we're changing this. This move does too much damage. Like Astral Barrage, we're changing the base damage from
now it's 85% accurate.
Yeah,
That's one of the most exciting things about it. Like,
to be able to change stuff on the fly.
Yeah. And we've seen them do it, but like in the past, we've had to wait till like next game came out for all those things.
Oh yeah, because they know things like Gal Wings is a great example.
Yeah.
Kang
taking away power punch and
but then giving it back to ZA. But we'll see.
Yeah. But we'll see if it gets it in Champions. Yeah, that'll be the interesting thing.
We don't know any abilities from any of the new megas, do we? So I wonder how they'll handle that in the
I think when we get the home update with ZA, that's when we'll get all of that information. So, but I imagine when ZA gets the update, it'll be the update for Champions as well. So it'll all kind of hopefully feed in, because I can't envision them dropping Champions and not having home compatibility off the bat. So I think that might be one of the reasons why it's been delayed, but that's just me speculating. I don't know.
I guess they could try to stagger that though, right?
They could.
They don't necessarily have to do it at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a kind of
then
the running trend with like a new Pokemon game gets dropped and then home compatibility isn't until like 6 months later
right.
because they
Yeah.
want you to just do everything natively in the game, right? So they might do the
That
same with
makes sense.
Champions. Yeah.
It's very exciting. It is very exciting. I think it has the potential. Like, I think I spoke to, I don't know if I've spoken to you both about this in length, but I feel like there seems to be like a big general consensus that there seems to be a lot of Scarlet and Violet fatigue. Like a lot of people, especially that I've met in the UK scene, who were really into Mons, you know, when Scarlet and Violet come out, have now kind of hit this stage where they're like struggling for the motivation to play competitive. Like they just can't do it anymore. Like they're fed up with the RNG. They're fed up with the same recycled formats. They're like,
I mean, the RG is never leaving.
I know that. I'm just
they should be
using
aware
that
of that.
as an example, but
Yeah.
again, they could change that on the fly, like you said, with the patch notes.
I think like the Champions like kind of dawns I think the time where we're just not going to have that anymore. We're not going to ever get that fatigue because I think that's natural towards the end of any generation that we have. But we've just had an extra year of Scarlet and Violet than we
which we shouldn't have.
Than usual, I would say. So yeah, I think it's probably normal for a lot of players to feel like that. And like in past years when we've had like, you know, we saw it in Sun and Moon, we had Sword and Shield, and any generation before that, that last year is always a tough one because you've always got the kind of back of your mind, there's a new game or a new generation coming out and we know it's coming out and we know there's going to be new Pokemon, new format, which is exciting. And we're still having to play in the one that we're in at the minute, which feels like not as exciting to do, you know? So
that's kind of what they've done though with
cycle.
Scarlet and Violet, right? Where they've tried to compartmentalize that into like smaller and more segments by having all these different regulations.
Scarlet and Violet
out,
was an
right?
afterthought. I'm sorry, everything they've done with this game was an afterthought. Like they, as soon as it run poorly, they were like, okay, let's just focus on Gen 10. Like they just, we'll drop some Terror Raids, guys. Oh, game's fun again. Woo! No, it's not. It's not.
Check this guy out.
It's not.
Number one Poker fan here.
But I think
don't badmouth the Terror Raids.
I know. Mr. Terror Raid King
right
over here.
there.
I know. I'm not having a go at the people, you know. You're keeping the game fresh. I'm just saying it's not exciting content, is it?
I get your opinion. I enjoyed Scarlet and Violet.
No, I enjoyed the game. What I meant was it felt like once the game was out, they were prioritizing making sure that they don't screw up Gen 10 because I think if they do that,
they did a good job.
To be fair to them, they had 2 DLCs as well.
Yeah,
they did. I just feel like with the optimization issues and like the thing is, if Scarlet and Violet, this is a tangent, but if Scarlet and Violet had released on the Switch 2, I think people would be singing its praises because it obviously runs like a dream on the Switch 2.
Well, they should have done a better job with the Switch one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't get me started with performance because I'll take over this part.
This man will go.
I don't want to go, like I said, I don't want to hone on it for a long time, but like, I just feel like, I mean, they have, obviously, there's loads of things that happen, like COVID happened, that probably delayed a lot of, you know, then the supply issues for like, you know, GPUs and all CPUs and all that, you know, that we've had problems like that. So it might have, you know, things like this are planned years in advance, right? They probably know what they're going to do after the Switch 2. It's probably already in the pipelines. You know, big things that have happened could easily, you know, cause a wrench. And I'm not saying that it's their fault for not optimizing Scarlet and Violet really well and for not doing this, not doing that. I just think that it's an unfortunate consequence of life.
It's all right, Scott.
I'm just sad.
Beautiful way of saying it.
Just sad.
It's a very diplomatic way of...
I want to get excited again for a Pokemon game, and Scarlet and Violet has drained all that excitement away from me.
Well, we only got a few days, right? And hopefully we get Gen 10 announced, right? Yes. So that's going to... Hopefully. Could you imagine if it comes and they don't announce anything?
There's no way. There's no way.
I don't think they will ever do that in any universe.
Pokemon and Champions.
It's the 30th anniversary. Like they've got stuff up their sleeve.
Yeah, they have. I think.
To be
I
fair,
think,
like out of all other Nintendo IPs, Pokemon are the ones that pretty much do like huge efforts in all of the anniversaries and the build-ups of the
Yeah.
events
Because
and
they
stuff,
have
right?
the
Because
money.
well,
Yeah,
because
it's
they
like
know
it's the
exactly.
is it the 40th anniversary of Zelda this year, and they've
I
done
think,
like
yeah,
zip.
I think I
They've
heard
done
that.
nothing. So
Nothing. They
it's like
don't. They,
how?
that's what I mean. But like
Yeah, but
Game Freak
Pokemon.
and Pokemon,
Pokemon
they're
is
different.
the biggest franchise in the world. There's no
Yeah.
it literally is the biggest franchise in the world. They print money and you can't buy it, okay? You can't go out and buy it in store or online, okay? A booster box probably costs like a £5
It's okay,
to
Scott.
make, and they charge
It's all right, man.
£150, Costa.
Stop thinking about it.
150.
It happened a couple of days ago. It's over. It's in the past. It's okay. You're safe now.
There is good news. We're going to get to that though later in the pods.
But yeah, it's exciting. I think we'll get
for the cards anyway, Scott. So
we'll get a lot of stuff. We're bound to get a lot of stuff. I think this will be a good Pokemon Presents. I mean, I don't know what 10 years ago would have been the 20th. Were they doing Pokemon Presents on the 20th anniversary?
Yeah, they've done them pretty much. I think was 2000. Was it 16, 17? I think was the maybe.
What's the X and Y?
Is
that Sun and Moon?
That feels like build up to Sun and Moon because 2017,
13, 14 was Sun and Moon, X and Y because that's when I started to play.
Yeah, when was the first Pokemon Day Presents? I don't know when the first one was.
Well, the 25th anniversary. Did they do a lot for that?
I think they did. They did like every 5 they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big milestone, right? So I've got high expectations.
It's the biggest milestone right now.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, each milestone is always the biggest one or whatever, but I feel like this 30th, they've been gearing up the engines. We got Pokemon XP as well coming out later at Worlds.
This can't be right. Well, it says here that the first. I feel like this is wrong. The first Pokemon Presents to air directly on Pokemon Day was 2021, which I feel, and that was for the 25th anniversary.
Is that AI telling you that?
Yeah, which is making me thinking that it's not right.
Cheeky robot.
Unless they're saying Pokemon Presents, because they used to be called Pokemon Direct, right? For Presents. So maybe Direct were pre that. I'd have to go back and have a look. I feel like they did them before then, though.
I feel like they did as well.
They did a fucking Super Bowl advert. I mean, if that doesn't tell you that they're trying to hype up the 30th anniversary, I mean, they got some famous people in there. You know, are you telling me that Lamine Yamal likes Zygarde 100% form? Do we really think that's true?
He's still shiny hunting it. And
do we think Charles Leclerc's favorite Pokemon is Arcanine? What? How much money did they pay these people? I mean, they even had a K-pop artist in there. They had my girl Jisoo. I mean, come on, they're paying big money for this advert.
People love Pokemon, man.
People do love Pokemon.
It's an addiction.
They paid Pokemon to be in that ad.
No way.
They were like, yeah.
No
way. Mate, that is such a big hot take.
I'm telling you, they got minimum 6 figures each for that advert. They got 6 figures each for that advert.
Can you imagine? Oh my god, that'd be so funny. I mean, I'm curious now. I'm gonna like send them messages, just like this random
DM your
crazy.
By the way, bro.
What's up, bro? Like, tell me, was that did they pay you or did you pay them?
I think.
What's the track?
I think the one thing we can all agree on is that it's a very exciting time to be a Pokemon fan. I mean, if you told me when I first started playing Pokemon that we would get an actual battle simulator for the game, I never thought we'd. I've always thought about it, and I'm sure I've had conversations with people. I never ever would have thought they would have done like a dedicated game for competitive. I mean, it just goes to show you the growth that it's had. I mean, you guys have been playing Pokemon for a while. I mean, I started in 2014. Nats in Manchester was my first one. I mean, like at EUIC, I was like thinking about it. Like, it's quite easy when you've been to so many events that like you kind of take it for granted. I mean, I was standing at the end of the ginormous hallway that EUIC was in. I mean, it was most of one side of the XL, and I was like, if like, how old would I be? Like 15-year-old me had seen this, or like you told me that this what Pokemon events was going to be like, with like the stage setup is just insane. Like everything about it was really really cool. Like I just wouldn't have believed you, and so I think we have
Yeah.
come such a long way, and it's easy to forget about that. So it's a good time. It's a good time to be a Pokemon fan.
It's the best time.
It is the
actually.
best time.
Best time.
You know,
It is, yeah. It's amazing. And it's only going to kind of keep growing as well, which
that's what
is
I mean.
the exciting thing. And then we got Pokopia coming out as well, that's confirmed. So that's the 5th of March. So that's another one. We'll probably get a little bit more. Actually, this pod's going up after the Tuesday the 24th. And today, when we're recording the pod on Monday the 23rd, it was announced that there's a Treehouse live going up on the 24th, and there's going to be a segment about Pokopia, which again makes me think that they're not going to talk about that in the Pokemon Presents very much, because they're going to cover it all in this
They
Treehouse
should,
thing.
yeah.
which
I
makes
don't
me
think they.
Wow, what are they doing in the Pokemon Presents?
If we get 20 minutes of bloody TCG, I'm gonna be fuming. If the last 5 minutes are like, oh, here's one trailer for Champions and here's one trailer for Gen 10, I'm gonna be fuming.
Why are you casting that into the universe, Stardy Boy?
No, I just, it's always at the end. They always save the video game content to right to the end. So what stuff about bloody Pokemon Cafe Remix and Pokemon EX Masters and
we're going to get that. We're going to get EX Masters. We're going to get Cafe Remix. We're going to get TCG
Go, Pocket.
Go. We're going to get probably a bit of Unite. They'll talk about Pokopia. We'll probably get a bit more. I think Champions will be a bigger segment, I think, because I think we'll get the release date for that. And then Gen 10's my only other one. And I'm like, well, there's probably room for something else. Probably a new TCG set that's coming out that's,
do you think they would just like
but I think there's something
do a small teaser for Gen 10 and then, because they normally do a Pokemon Day in the summer, don't they? Not Pokemon Day, a Nintendo Direct in the summer.
Yeah, I think they'll leave the Gen 10 thing for the very end.
They have to.
What I mean is they won't reveal much. They'll just do maybe like a trailer.
They'll show gameplay in the starters, I think.
Yeah, probably a minute's worth. I think they're going to do a teaser.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, like not much,
they're not going to do
not info or anything like that. The focus will probably be Champions and Poke.
Be a lot like how they did the Scarlet and Violet teaser trailer. You know, it was the security guard walking through the building, going into the office, and then he shined the light on the picture, and it was the starters, and then it went into the world, and it showed you a bit of gameplay, and then but there was so many Easter eggs in that room. Like there was, you know, the grapes and the orange were like on a plate next to a sandwich. You know, so there was so many things in that room that were like Easter eggs. So I think that's the cool thing about it. However they do it, there's going to be a bunch of Easter eggs kind of teasing what's to come in the game. But yeah, I don't know. They might even show the legendaries as well, you know, box legendaries. They could do that, but they may just save that and just do the starters. But I think that'll be the very last thing that they leave it on.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I was curious to see the duration of it. I see it being 1 minute 28. That was Scarlet and Violet's first trailer, which is the teaser trailer. So I think it's probably, like, in my opinion as well, they kind of have to go ahead and do some sort of teaser.
There was loads of leaks, right? So like they've got to release something, I think, because you know
there were the rumors for sure. I guess at this point, life cycle wise, I know that Champions is a big thing and all that stuff, but like it's not their main line, right? We've already far exceeded their life cycle because of the reasons that we had with ZA. We had Champions in the make, so they needed to reallocate their resources a bit elsewhere, and also, you know, make sure that
Champions being made by
the project
Ilka.
Yeah, Pokemon Works, so it's like Ilka. So they're kind of Pokemon and creatures and Ilka make Pokemon Works, and Pokemon Works are the ones behind Champions, and they're also kind of behind Home as well. So they kind of work in conjunction on all of those things.
Makes sense.
I forgot as well that there will be a ZA event, likely a ZA event for another Megastone. So, but still, even listing all of that stuff, right? I feel like that doesn't fill 25 minutes. All those things, you know, you're touching on like If they're doing
Well,
EX Masters, is
the-
that going to get a minute? Probably not, like 40 seconds.
Let's write it down. Let's list it out. Right. So EX Masters.
Well, let's talk about, because we'll start off with Ishihara. He'll come in,
Yeah.
introduce it. He'll
Yeah.
talk maybe about the history of Pokemon over 30 years, what it's given. That's going to be like 2 minutes, I would say, right?
I'm
And
going to
then
do the
they'll-
maths while you're working this out.
I'm writing down the list, so please.
And
go,
then
go,
I
go.
think we talk about, and then I think we jump to Chris Brown, because I think then we go into competitive scene, because
Yeah.
Chris Brown has been on there the last couple of years. Chris will probably talk about competitive scene, about Pokemon XP at Worlds this year, and then Pokemon Champions, and it'll come back to Ishihara, and he'll probably throw to Champions.
I think
and
they'll
then
go
we'll
straight into Champions.
I think so.
I don't.
Interesting.
I guess it depends on if we're expecting Gen 10 trailer.
Yeah.
I feel like if there's Gen 10, sure, I could see it. But if there's not Gen 10, then I feel
There
like they kind of
there
have
has
to
to be a Gen
leave
10
Champions
trailer.
towards the end.
Yeah.
I think there'll be. Yeah, I just can't
Guys,
see a world.
They cannot have this present and not give us a release date for Champions. It's been played at
No,
once this
yeah,
year.
no,
It's like,
no.
it has to be now, or like
Literally.
it's just like, what is
Yeah.
going on?
Champions
so
will probably be the bulk. And then a
how
small
many
trailer.
minutes are we going to get of Champions? Though, are we going to get like 3 minutes?
5 minutes.
I don't think 5. That's
what more can they
huge.
reveal?
Maybe
So
another trailer, minute and a half, maybe showing more of like how the in-game team building works.
Mm,
Maybe some customization, and then
home
maybe
compatibility.
maybe a discussion about it afterwards.
Yeah. Trainer customization, like talk you through how like you get victory points, what they mean, what you can buy with them, a bit more intricate detail about.
you
show
think-
us footage
some
of
more
ladder
Pokemon that are going to
ranked or
be
something
in the
like that.
game as well.
Is there anything in there that you think they could like? And are there any curveballs that you could think of that they could throw into, like that they might just throw it? Obviously, it's a curveball, so
I heard
what
something
if you
cool
don't know
the
what it
other
is?
day. I can't remember who said it, but they said a really cool way to reveal a starter or a new Pokemon from Gen 10 would have it be revealed in Pokemon Champions
That'd
in
be
their
insane.
trailer.
That would be insane.
You know, have it in Champions first, and
True.
then be like, "That's a new Pokemon. Where is it from?" And then have it to be a Gen 10 Pokemon, which would be kind of a cool way to do it. But
That reminds me of Azumarill featuring in the Pokemon movie. You
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
like the
yeah.
prelude to
Yeah.
Pokemon movie?
Pikachu's
first one?
Vacation.
Pikachu's
wasn't it?
Vacation. That's
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
that went so hard back in the day.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe they could do something like that. Obviously, we know Togepi was technically Gen 2,
Mm,
but in the anime it was revealed as in
Yeah.
Gen 1.
that'd be a cool
Game
thing to do.
it would game wise. It was which case can we think of where
I guess they could have new moves. There could be new moves introduced. You know, that's something that they could do. You know, because it's like you could have moves that are maybe going to be in Gen 10 that they just bring forward to be used straight away, and just give new, like there's a new move tutor available. That could be a new feature, move tutor in Champions. It's exclusive to Champions and not for anything else.
would they spoil it like that? Like I mean,
No,
it
they
depends
could-
on how
they
many
could
moves
show
they
like a
got.
new. I don't know. I'm just trying to
Mm.
think of like things that they could do, curveball things, like
Yeah.
dog
Mm.
train or something like that.
Oh, I was just thinking that.
Lost
Oh my
priority
god.
or something like that. You know, I don't know. I don't know. They could do some like crazy stuff. So who knows?
I think they'll probably tease the mega mechanic, right? I'd imagine.
Then maybe tease the first format that's gonna come to Champions like competitively, because like there's a lot of questions in terms of what does the competitive scene look like in terms of obviously the rule and the format and blah blah blah,
Mm.
but also like at events, what are we gonna be doing? Are we rocking up with mobiles like Go, or are there mobiles there? Are we rocking up with switches?
I'm
Which one's
also
the
very
default?
curious about how they decide to
Which one's on stream? Are we just going to be there?
But you can
with
play on your
mobiles?
phone for Unite, right? But I'm assuming it has to be on LAN. So would you have to plug your phone into the like docks things, adapters that they already have on the table? Would that automatically connect your phone to the? Because if it's on Wi-Fi, I mean, people,
Hmm.
it's just not going to work. I mean, you've
Yeah.
been to the,
Well-
you tried to connect to the Wi-Fi in any venue, and it's normally atrocious. So
Well, for Go, they've got default phones of their
haven't
own,
they?
right?
Yeah.
That's what I
So
mean.
like,
They
I
would
just
never
don't
do
see
that.
them. They can't do it from the scalability point of view with the numbers of attendance. They just can't do that for
It's like
PPC.
1,000 phones at each
That's what I
event.
mean.
I
And
think
then
it-
you're
They're never gonna do
then you're
People might
capped
not want that
on-
as well, right?
Yeah.
Because like I feel a lot of people I've heard would
because
rather
it's optional.
yeah. Like I think a lot of people would like the flexibility of being able to play Champions on their phone, but from people I've spoke to in my circle, they're like, I'm going to use my Switch because the screen's bigger. It's going to be a lot easier to see what you're doing.
Valid.
It wouldn't surprise me if they say, okay, for the first 6 months of the life cycle, it's just going to be Switch only for competitive events.
Don't think you can do that. Because I think
As long as they've got a plan, that's all I'm saying. I just don't know
but
how
what about-
organised they are.
What about new players that like only get into it on their
Because of the
phone?
phone.
You can't penalize new
Yeah,
players.
but then
for
you
not having
also
a Switch.
you also don't want an insane surgence of people turning up to Pokemon events because then you just can't. They're not going to be able to deal with it.
There's always going to be a cap on the amount of registrations it's allowed anyway. So you're just going to be. It's going to mean that tickets are harder to get for events basically. But I don't think you can penalize newer players because they've just got a phone and haven't got a Switch.
No,
You can't
I'm not.
force a decision.
No, but
on
I'm
them.
not. I'm not saying like it's a permanent thing. But I feel like,
I think that kills it, though. I think that kills it. Because I think from the get-go, you need to have that flexibility with whatever device that you play on is what you can play.
I mean, I'd love
Well,
it.
that's what you've been advertising as well, right?
I
That's
would
the
love
big
it,
'cause-
boom of the
Yeah.
accessibility.
If I could just use my iPad instead of my Switch, because I don't have a Switch 2 yet, then yeah, I'll just do that, and then I'll pick up a Switch 2 whenever I can. But I don't. I think it's gonna be. I don't know how
Must
well it'll run.
iPad.
Yeah,
No, genuine. I was literally going to bring it up. So I'm glad that you did as well because I was thinking, oh, wait, it's Android and iOS devices, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, you can, in theory, literally rock up with an iPad, a huge one as well.
But like, I would rather do that than like, I don't know how it's going to work on your phone.
I mean,
but-
I'll be string peeking all day. So I'm happy with that, my friend.
yeah, but I've got an iPad
That's why you
Mini.
need to get one of
happily
those. You
use
know,
that.
there's you get the screen protectors where if you angle it, you can't
my God,
actually
yeah.
see the
That's a shell.
you can't see what's on the screen. But people, yeah,
That's
people
next
are-
level.
go
It seems like
crazy
you've
with
already
those.
thought of that.
Yeah.
Like,
Again, lots of
like-
questions that need to be answered, which
yeah.
I mean, what they'll probably do is tease a lot of stuff and then maybe do a big blog post about it. I mean, they've got that forum website now, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got their champions website.
Yeah,
they've
so
got
they'll
information
probably
on
do
there
like a
and
big
stuff.
FAQ section.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're gonna because like obviously, I don't know what the deal is with the judges and stuff, but I was talking to one judge the other day at a local one. He was like, we haven't heard anything about how Champion's going to run an event yet. So I'm assuming they're going to maybe drop like a massive giga file and just send it out to everyone, being like, these are the new rules. If, like I said, if they want to implement everything in at once, I think it'd be a lot easier if they just did it on the Switch. But like you said, it kind of does nuke a lot of the hype. Because you're like, well, I can't actually go play at a tournament because I don't have a Switch 2 yet. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. But I feel like champions probably will take up a good chunk of time during the presents.
Oh, for sure.
And then what's the other things taking up a lot of time? New TCG set we'll probably get Pokemon Go announcement, Pokemon Unite, EX Champions, Cafe Remix, Pokopia will probably get a mention. What else on top? What can you think? Are they going to talk about Fire Red, Leaf Green? Probably not.
Again, they might tease
event.
a feature, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, ZA maybe. Again, like I think you're right. There's a lot of this stuff. They're not going to have long segments, so you know.
Hello.
Okay,
Hello?
we can see.
We got you back.
All right. Hello. So internet's been going on and off for the past 2 minutes, where you guys have been absolutely freezing, and I've just been left to my own devices and silent. Yeah. So you're back though, which is good.
It's still recording. It says still
It's
recording.
still recording, but it was sort of. I'm guessing we've missed those sections, unfortunately.
No.
So sorry.
It wasn't
about
that long though. I think you've only been frozen for like a minute. So
Yeah, I think like 1-2 minutes.
we
but
can
yeah,
cut
it's-
it. We can cut it.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Don't know
not
what
your
the
fault.
fuck's going on.
Don't worry, mate.
Hour and 4 minutes. Just write that down.
Wow.
Work it out. But
We got to zoom through this next bit then.
All right. What's the next bit?
So, yeah, basically we were talking about what else is going to be in the presents. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there might be something else that no one else is talking about as outside of Gen 10 because we're not going to get
Are they going to
loads
do
from
any
Gen 10.
Pokemon Sleep stuff anymore? Have they been that
Oh, they'll
off?
probably do Pokemon Sleep, won't they? I just wonder if they've got like another
Oh, I see what you mean.
game that
Black and
Another
white.
genre. Another
A black
genre,
and white
I
Ilka
think.
game.
never know.
We know we've been
Potentially.
speculating about that for a long time,
Mm,
but
That would be cool.
that'd
that
be a
would be
crazy
cool.
drop. That'd be kind of hype.
That would be kind of cool.
I feel like they this depends on like how split they are of resources because it just kind of feels like at this point they've got so many different channels of games and genres that they're tackling. Obviously, Potopia, it being cozy game vibes. I'm curious if they're sort of the next big thing that they may be hiding is actually a new type of genre of game. Which maybe they've got either a trailer or
I feel like
got
they've
some sort of
ticked off most genres, right? They
They
got
should
RPGs, they've got
Yeah.
trading card, they've got
Yeah, they got
cozy
mobile. Yeah.
gaming with the new Pokopia game. They've
Ooh?
Uwu.
What's
Ooh.
a ooh?
Uwu. Like kawaii cute game. It's like Animal Crossing, right? So it gets the
It's
casual
called
gamers
cozy
in.
games, Scott.
Cozy, that's
Get
what
with
I
the
said.
plan.
Cozy gaming.
Cozy.
You said ooh.
Uwu. So
That's how I'm going to refer to Pokopia now. You know that ooh game.
Look, just because you two are boomers, okay? You're not down with the Gen Z lingo.
Get out of there.
So
Rude.
I'm still 19, so I'm down with the kids.
Yeah, 19 plus. How much you wanna go?
You don't even know how old I am.
Well, you're not 19, mate. I'll tell you
Sorry,
that.
I'm 21. I'm 21.
Yeah, sure.
Mm.
But I don't know what other genre they could go down. In all
First
honesty,
person shooter.
There's no way.
Well, they kind of have Pokemon Snap for that, right? In a
Bro,
way.
Scott.
It's John. Scott, you're back. I don't. Oh, your audio sounds a bit iffy.
So loud. He's angry. He's gone.
It's all of that ooh talk.
Ooh. Too much for him.
Mate, the first person shooter just killed me. Oh, he's back.
He's back and now we've lost the audio. You're not on, mate. Your audio's not there. Hello?
No, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you, man. You're mute.
Stop. This is hilarious. We should definitely keep this in.
Yeah, I think we need to. Yeah, he's the complete. Is it 'cause he's mute? He's your mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
But, you
What's going on? Stop bullying me. This is harassment.
I didn't touch anything.
No.
You heard me say ooh, and you're like, boo him. DDoS him now.
be
Yeah,
fair.
get him out of here. Get him going. Hit the button, Costa.
Sorry,
Well,
already did. Don't worry, my friend. But I guess first-person shooter, I feel, would be Pokemon Snap
Did not.
yes.
for a genre.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, that's as close as we're ever going to get to that, I think. Yeah, I mean that would be cool. Like a curveball would be something like that, where it's completely new and that we haven't had anything like it before, and it kind of ticks a box on another genre that that we haven't had from Pokemon yet, and they try that. But yeah, I don't know if there'll be too many. Are you expecting many surprises from the presents? Are you kind of expecting just what we've talked about today? And I guess there'll be surprises within those things, but not anything to be like.
I think
don't
Pokemon
get
Day.
wrong off.
Pokemon Day serves as a way to build hype and tease stuff that's coming out, right?
Mm.
So I don't think there's going to be like big in-depth explanations for anything. Like you said, there'll probably be stuff that they talk about, which we can't think of. Maybe they'll introduce. I mean, I don't know if anyone ever saw Pokemon Sleep coming. So I'm sure they'll find a way to surprise us with something.
Pokemon Run. And
yeah.
me will be #1 subscriber.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll be surprised. I think it's hard to speculate.
Didn't they
It's
have that
obvious what.
weird game a few years ago? It was like it was like an app for brushing your teeth, and
Yeah,
it
that was
never
weird.
came out. I don't know if it ever got released, but it was like you monitored like
Wasn't there a toothbrush that come with it? Sure, there's a
it was
toothbrush.
something like that. Yeah, I can't remember the details, but yeah, it was.
It probably got the Sonic treatment,
Mm.
the first Sonic iteration
Oh
of the
yeah, I
movie.
remember that. Yeah, revealed and then quickly
Yeah.
pulled. It's like got you guys.
Yeah, it was all a
Yeah.
joke.
All
I
a joke.
promise.
Yeah,
Swear.
back to the drawing board. Yeah.
Back to the shadows, you go, you abomination. But yeah. Who knows? Who knows? It could be. But yeah, I think probably for myself, it would be the big surprise is the Gen 10 stuff, because it just opens up the floodgates for a new generation of Pokemon, the trading card games, like every single other like sub IP of Pokemon just benefit off of a new generation.
Yeah.
You know, like that's sort of the role of
Well,
the
no,
video
it
games.
has to. I think that's what. I think that has the problem of that extra year of Scarlet and Violet has caused them, because, like you said, the whole IP revolves around the games.
Yeah.
The anime, the cards, every different sub IP they have for Pokemon, it all revolves around the main series game. So it breathes a lot of fresh air into everything that they have, which is why it is important that they still release. You know, they don't need to be released obviously as often as they used to be. What we used to get one game, and then a year later we'd get the second version like Sun and Moon 2 or Ultra Sun and Moon 2. Or do we get X and Y? We got Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, didn't we?
Yeah.
Great games.
You know, a 4-year life cycle, whatever. It doesn't have to be every year, but
I think it used to be 100%. I think it used to be 3-year
Every
life
3,
cycle,
yeah.
and now it's sort of because of the pushbacks and the other project focuses, it's gone into a 4-year cycle. And
when
I'm
did Scarlet and
sure.
Violet come out? 2022.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, like Q4 of it, right?
Yeah. Is it bad that I'm like now with Champions, I don't care how long they take with the next generation. 'Cause I just think with Champions, there's so much like flexibility on like changing rule sets, bringing old mechanics back and things like that. I just feel like now I'm like, take as long as you want, because we got Champions and we're going to be kind of fine.
Yeah,
you know.
I really hope they dedicate a team or something, because whilst I understand that they've done a good job of, it's like when you design a game, you must have to think about the competitive elements of it, right? Because when you're coming up with Pokemon and the abilities, like even though it's always been a really, really like fractional part of the core series games, they've always had to think about it. So I really hope now that they've got their own team for the game, they actually have like a group of people who sit there and think about, okay, right, how can we keep this game fresh? What format can we change? Do we bring Pokemon back? Do we start doing the patch notes? Do we nerf things? Do we take it away? So that there is proper focus on it, because I think you can't have it with Scarlet and Violet where like recycling the same formats. They've got no excuse now. The whole point of it, okay, yeah, they can tie in gimmicks with the release of a new game or a remake, They bring back gems when Gem 5 comes out and everyone will cry. But, they've got no excuse for it to be stale now. Like, there's no reason why they couldn't, when Champions comes out, they can't just be like, oh, we're going to do a Gen 1 Dex for a format, Gen 1 Dex Pokemon only. Why limit to just the game? You obviously do it when Gen 10 comes out, you stick to it. But then once that becomes stale, you just go, be interesting with it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how you keep people like interested in playing. Just like by removing a few Pokemon and adding some more in, like that's not exciting to me.
Yeah, I still think it'll follow the trend of like the new generation launch like we have now. Like, when Gen 10 does drop, our first format on Champions will probably be the
Megas. Yeah, that's cool.
No, I think it'll be like when Gen 10 comes out and we've got compatibility with Gen 10, that first format, all Gen 10 will just be like the Gen 10 region.
You mean the decks and stuff? Okay.
Yeah, and then they'll expand from there and do it like they've been doing. And then, like you say, Scott, it'll be probably when we've exhausted all of those options and got through GS Cup, then it'll be like, okay, let's bring terrestrialization back with this new mechanic, or megas and terrestrialize, and just mix and match.
I think combining gimmicks would be like a really cool
so wild.
avenue.
Yeah.
I think
And then
they
a
have
new
to,
gimmick
right?
as well in Gen 10, which is kind of exciting, hopefully.
That it's sort of the question is, when do they decide to trickle that in to competitive? Which is sort of why I feel in my headcanon, let's say we're looking for a Gen 10 release, either Q3 or Q4 of this year, then you have megas with worlds, blah, 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 whatever. Maybe add megas and Terra for September post worlds.
Wow.
And then when Gen 10 does release, maybe in the January, the following section of the season, that's where you introduce that new format, because it's still technically the same game. It's champions, right? Competitively, but it's with the new gimmick. So
and that will probably give enough time for home compatibility with Gen 10 as well by then.
Yeah, should.
Yeah, should. Yeah.
Magical word.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's no way that, going back to your point, Scott, about the sort of I would say ongoing support of champions, they have to commit, like you said, the fact that this is a dedicated game for competitive, it's basically going to be another Unite, it's going to be another Go, which are their own sort of identity and have to have other things injected into it, because you got to think about all the game devs that are going to be on it, or should be on it. You got, you know, new UIs that will be updated because of either new gimmicks or, you know, changes and rehashes of new Pokemon that are being introduced. You've got obviously the combat team, which need to be able to make sure that everything makes sense functionality wise, whatever. And obviously they're keeping on top with the designers around the patch notes. So like, you know, the buffs, the nerfs, etc. And then you've got the analysis team as well, which they are literally, their job is to be able to inject and take note essentially of, okay, this thing's doing really well competitively, we need to actually rein it back. Or actually we've seen that a lot of, you know, trainers or players, whatever, they do this, there's that. So like there's just so much going into it. Like you've even got the engine team, they still need to perform some regular checks for any new moves and new Pokemon and new gimmicks that are introduced. So like it has to have at least, I don't know, like 3 or 4 dedicated teams of maybe anywhere between 3 and 6 or 10 people at minimum, just to be able to let it go through the first half a year to a year. Just depends. Hopefully it goes on for long term. I feel like that's what the hope is for all of us. But it, like you said, it depends on how much love they give it.
Like imagine this, right? This is what, you know, in some futuristic world where like Champions is like you can play Champions on like VR. Like how sick would that be? You know? I mean, VR's in a weird stage at the moment, but like imagine just being able to plop on your Oculus Rift headset and like, oh damn, I'm in a game.
That'd be
Like you
sick.
can see a crowd around you, like
that first trailer, basically.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's literally what I mean.
That'd be wild.
Like you're in the game. It'd be so sick.
Well, they're gonna do that just for mainline games as well, I feel like. What at some point in the future, I think it would make sense for them to have like
by
a
Gen
VR
20,
mode.
we should be fully immersed in a world.
I'm all granddads. Like, I remember when Sun and Moons come out. We just played on a 3DS.
What's Sun and Moon? What's a 3DS? God. I think. Oh wait, that's the genre that they haven't done.
Voice is
VR.
good.
Yeah, but I feel like that's quite an expensive and, you know, not well developed industry yet.
Well, we're gonna wait for the Nintendo VR to come out first, and then that will happen.
That'll probably be like the next console will be.
Sure.
Look, the people at Nintendo and Pokemon aren't stupid. You know? They will keep coming up with stuff that is interesting, and they are notoriously good at innovating. I mean, I know the Switch wasn't a massive iteration change, but from the Switch 2, sorry, was a massive iteration change from the original Switch. But you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There was nothing. They improved the Switch. The Switch is a fantastic console. There was just things they need to make better, which they have done with the Switch too. So I don't think, maybe next console we get some kind of different iteration. I don't know. It depends on how handhelds evolve over time.
It's it'll just be a chip we swallow, and then we can plug into the Nintendo.
Wow, you're talking
servers.
about like proper.
That's like mega. What a Cyberpunk? Just
Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah.
like Neo in the Matrix.
Yeah.
You just sit down in the chair.
Ready Player One. Here we go.
And then we're just like we're socially antisocial, or anti-socially social. Don't know which one.
Loads of smelly people conked out in a room playing Pokemon Champions because they're all just like their headsets on.
Not much will have changed. Whoopsie! Talking about myself clearly.
But no, it's a good time.
It's exciting. And hopefully we get the starters revealed with Gen 10 and whatever else we get from it. It would be nice to get a bit more information than just the starters that we generally do get. I'm quite confident that we're going to get a lot of Champions news. And I think they'll just gloss over the stuff that we already know and maybe do have like a curveball where we get something maybe no one's expecting, which would be super, I think a nice way to kind of round off presents. So I think whatever it's going to be exciting anyway. I think that 25 minutes, it makes it seem like it's going to be a beefy present. So it should be,
Fingers crossed. The magic word, like you said right now, should.
It'd be good to come back to this next week and see our thoughts post presents and kind of dissect everything and break everything down and take a deeper dive within it all.
See, I've got this I've got this thing in my head. This is like a really wishful thinking.
Is it your brain? Sorry.
Yeah. So this is like the meme in from It's Always Sunny where Charlie's got the board up behind him. He looks crazy.
Yeah.
So, do you guys know who Blackpink are? The K-pop group?
No.
In that Pokemon trailer, one of their members, Jisoo, was in the trailer. Korean singer. Their new album drops on Friday.
Oh.
And so there's part of me will they do some kind of collab? Will they do a song? I feel like you would have heard about it by now, but she was in the trailer. She said, who did she say? I think she said Eevee was her favorite Pokemon.
Eevee or Umbreon, something.
Yeah. Same day. It just seems, I don't know. It's just, I'm clutching at straws here because I like K-pop, but
there's something in that though, I think.
She was it. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it could be a really cool collab. They love to collab.
Evolution.
The Korean and Japanese channel always collab with.
That'd be wild. A new dragon type evolution.
Oh, the legendary thing of myths.
Yeah.
That I'm sure will not ever grace us. Because
maybe not. No.
They just keep it there because they're like, oh yeah. Well,
I think we got to be true in evolution in this one, right? Surely.
Yeah.
Well,
it's the same with the classic collection narrative. It comes around every single Pokemon day, right? Every new generation.
When was the last time we got an evolution? Gen 6?
X and Y. Yeah, X and Y. Sylveon.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
that's what I mean. So that was 2013, 14?
It's like
cheese.
It's
just so much cheese.
They've got so many types now.
Yeah.
They've got over 1,000 Pokemon. If I'm not mistaken, there's 1,025 Pokemon, excluding forms and stuff. Can they not fit in one more EV4?
They just need they do. They just need to round off the set, don't they? They just need to finish that all off.
They've got 9, right? So you need even 10.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait. How many types? We've got total 18 types, right? Or is it 6? So is that with
No,
Stella?
it is 18.
It is
with
18.
Stella, it's 19, yeah.
19,
but
okay,
that
cool.
doesn't really count, I guess. Stella does it.
Nah, no, it doesn't. Unless it will in the future.
That'd be wild, yeah.
But I guess, maybe that's the reveal. A new type.
That would be wild. That would be wild.
Right?
What type could they do? I feel like they've done a lot of elemental stuff.
Light.
Yeah.
Light, yeah.
Yeah.
If they've got dark, so light would make sense, I guess.
Yeah. And I guess they'd have to rework the type chart.
They need to rework some of the
Yeah.
some of the
Or they
type
could have like
effectiveness and stuff.
a sound type as well, because they've got so many sound-based
Sound-based
moves
moves.
already.
Yes.
So that would be kind of like, yeah, sound type.
And you could like get deals super effective on any Pokemon that has substitute.
Yes.
Just because why not? Just screw.
Like
substitute.
super effective against Fairy. Like make like Bug better by making, I guess like
Bug needs a buff, man.
Psychic needs a buff as well, I feel.
Yeah, I feel like there's a few types that just
Psychic needs a buff, Lee. Are you all right? Are you
Yeah, mate.
okay?
Come on,
Have you
mate.
not heard of a spam team?
No, mate. Like what? Are you actually being serious now?
Yeah.
Psychic does not need a buff.
I feel Psychic needs a buff. Like type-wise, Psychic's trash. All the good Psychic types are pretty much dual types at this point.
True.
Well, good. I was thinking of
I'm
Spaffra.
like he's trying to say another not.
well, Mewtwo, cool. Yeah, what are you gonna say about Mewtwo?
I'm not arguing that Mewtwo's not cool, but
Okay.
will you be using it in any competitive scene?
If there's no Calyrex and there's no Lunala and there's no other Pokemon that are better than it, legendary wise.
It's a Kanto region only decks, yeah.
yeah, 100%.
They don't really release like a single type psychic Pokemon, really. What was the last single type psychic Pokemon?
A Spaffra.
Spaffra, is that it?
Which is so good and oppressive in a restricted decks.
Yeah.
Or format.
Of just a Spathra, yes.
It's Spaffra only.
It's Spathra and every other fighting type.
yeah, but
it's
mate,
so strong. So strong.
Yeah, it is so strong, mate. I will not hear slander for my Espathra. Okay?
I'm not even slandering. I'm just saying I think Psychic could use a little bit of a buff.
Yeah, that is slander. That is slanderly. You're implying that it's not strong enough.
Yeah, but it's all relative to the games, though, isn't it? I feel like there are certain types that are like subjectively like.
Bug needs a buff. I
Bug
think
needs a big buff.
Ice needs a little bit of help. I think.
Yeah.
Which needs a nerf?
Fairy, I think.
Yeah, Fairy definitely does.
Steel's strong as well.
Steel is very strong. Like it covers what, like 14 resists across the 18
too many
spectrum?
things. Yeah,
like nerf Incineroar.
Yeah, but if
champions, don't worry.
Sound might be like just super effective against Incineroar.
We're just making stuff up now. This is gone. We're too deep in the pod. Where have we gone?
I thought that was the plan, guys. Like, wait, what?
That's exactly the plan. Yeah. Yeah. So a new type would be insane. Everyone would go so nuts with that. That would be.
I think that's a good bingo card. That's a good one on the bingo card.
That's a great one. Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. Be wild. It's such a long time since we had a new type, so bring it on.
Fingers crossed.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be good. Because were they just testing the water with the Terra type? Like
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
that's what.
Were they just testing the water and just saying,
no?
Well, they've done test stuff before, right? Like, previous games, and then they've expanded on that idea. Like Sword and Shield stuff with experimenting with the wild area. Stuff.
I'm hoping that like Gen 10 is an amalgamation of like all the experimentative games, like what they learned from the Let's Go series, what they learned from ZA, what they learned from Legends Arceus. Obviously, ZA was an iteration of Legends Arceus, the Legends game. What they've learned from the main series game, and they kind of just all kind of take the best bits, put it all into one.
It'd be crazy to think as well, like Gen 10 is going to come along and there won't be probably won't be a ranked ladder within that game.
You would assume.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see like what different change they're making in terms of the battle system as well. Like, will it follow competitive champions?
Yeah, I think it will.
It should, right?
Yeah, I think you need a way to feed into champions. Like, if you get rid of it, I think, yeah.
What if there's like a really I was thinking it would make sense to maybe add some competitive something in the main series game to like let people know, oh hey, we have this competitive game that exists, because you're still going to have people that don't really know much about champions and they just like playing Pokemon. So they'll, or like you said, what I said earlier, someone who hasn't played Pokemon in a long time, like, oh, I want to buy the new Pokemon game, and they play it. I feel like you're going to need those elements in the game still.
You
But
need
like,
a
people
drip
just-
feed them.
Yeah, people
Yeah,
aren't going to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still a core part of the game mechanics, even if you don't EV train or IV train. You know, they've always been part of the game. So I think removing it would be a bit
Yeah.
detrimental, maybe.
Yes. Well, we're just going to have to. Well, we've only got a few days to wait until all is revealed, which is very exciting. So, yeah, we'll be able to come back and revisit all of this next week and see how close we were, what was revealed, and everything that was said on Pokemon Day, which is very exciting. And for all of you guys watching and or listening, whatever platform you're on, let us know ahead of time what you think or what you're most looking forward to seeing most from the presents this week on Pokemon Day. But I feel like this is probably a good place to wrap it up, friends. What do you
We have
think?
rambled on for a long time.
I feel like we could go down the rabbit hole. We could probably go
Easily.
for another hour easy on this. And maybe that's what we do if we do any bonus content in the future. If we open up memberships and we can do stuff like that, which would be a lot of fun, I think, because we could probably talk for hours and stuff like this.
Easily.
And we've definitely got sidetracked a little bit from where we started in Fire Red Leaf Green to the Pokemon Presents, and we've touched a little bit on the things outside of Champions. But you can tell how excited we really, all three of us, are for Champions dropping in Gen 10 as well. So I think that says a lot for what we're hoping for on Pokemon Day. But anything to finish off, friends, before we say goodbye to our lovely viewers?
No, I don't think so.
Fair
That's
play.
Nothing.
Exhausted everything.
I mean, he followed the objective, right? So
Yeah. Answered the question.
he did. Myself, I guess no as well. No. Just big thank you, obviously, for you guys having me on as well. And yeah, looking forward to
Having you on.
Pokemon Day.
You're part of the pod now.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
Am I trapped?
you're like
You can't leave.
you're
You
like
can't leave.
I
you're
can't
like
escape.
a comfy
Koala?
a pair of
Slippers?
no
I've
like
got them.
a pair of
My good trusty slippers.
really comfy pair of slippers. They have
Okay.
just slipped in. It just feels like you've been here forever. So
Aww.
and
You're
now
gonna make me blush.
there we go. So I think you're a mainstay now. You have to keep coming back.
Unfortunately.
Rep. I shall regret. Or... Based off of that. No,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate it, mate. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to more.
I wonder how many of our predictions will come true.
All of them.
None
In
of them.
review. That'd be insane.
I don't know. I like the new type from Kosta. I think Gen 10 is a good one. Release date for Champions, but outside of that, who knows? It's anyone's best guess.
Right. That's it. Thanks, guys.
We'll be
Cheers
back
for watching.
same time next week. So
Yeah.
make sure you
It
don't
works
miss.
quite well.
Tune in,
honestly.
drop a like, leave a like, do all the good things to help the algorithm, and let us know what you'd like to see covered on next week. So until then, everyone, take care of yourselves. Enjoy Pokemon Day. Enjoy the presents. Lee, this is Scott, and a good man, Costa.
Bye-bye. I could have tried to keep a straight face.
And I mean,
all right, awesome. I am going to stop recording, but I've been told. So Joe told me that we need a